It's been 11 years since a college football video game came out, and we only have 2 more months till it finally makes its return. We had a trailer earlier in the year and a full reveal just a couple days ago, but there's still a lot they have to go over in these coming months. Today I'm going to go over how I see the timeline kind of playing out and how I think EA is going to roll out, the reveal for these new features and the reveal for the game in general. With that being said, let's get straight into it, and I'm going to be talking about this coming week, like right now and in the future for the next week. Today is Friday the 24th, and to be honest, I completely believed that something was going to come out today. I thought 11 a.m. they dropped something, maybe even gameplay, and we'd be super surprised because EA, they kind of have done that in the past where they just drop stuff. So I think that would have been cool if they would have just given us at least maybe even a screenshot today. We did end up seeing the play now shot, which that was a leak. That wasn't EA publicly giving it out to us. I'll put it on screen now, but in case you haven't seen that, it looks very, very clean. I know I'm getting a little off topic, but if the rest of the game looks like that, that is a great thing, because how the helmets are looking at each other and kind of just how the fonts and all the background stuff meshes together, that looks incredible. So hopefully we see the rest of the game look like that. But back to what I was talking about, I thought there would be something today. There ended up not being. It's about 7 o'clock right now. Unless something comes out in the next 2 hours, nothing happened today. Maybe tomorrow, because it is Saturday, so Friday and Saturday are probably the 2 main days. Any other day I'd be surprised for them to come out with something. But I do think sometime this next week there will be gameplay. I've heard people talk about it on the inside, how they think that gameplay is going to be revealed soon, and I completely believe them, because that's obviously what the people want to see the most, myself included. I know you've heard me complain a lot about them not showing gameplay yet, so it's definitely something I want to see in the near future, and something that I will hopefully see in the next week. Another thing I hope we see in the next week is some player ratings coming out. I know the Michigan running back Donovan Edwards, he had his speed rating very low. There was something about that. I watched the MMG video where he was complaining, but obviously they couldn't come out with it yet. But some people went and played it. I think his name was Matt Brown, and they played the game, and they're saying they're going to come out with stuff in a couple days in terms of ratings. So that'll most likely come out in the next week. Maybe not obviously every player rating, but the top dogs, maybe their speed rating or the more important ratings. But I could definitely see that coming out in the next week, because they did have to sign something that said, they're not going to tell anyone until they are allowed to, which I think that day is either Sunday or Monday. So I'll obviously try to make a video on that if they do reveal important information. But as of now, I do see some ratings coming out in the next week. A little bit more of a stretch, I could see some team ratings start to come out in the next week, but that's probably something that'll be later down the line. I think people in general more so care about the actual player ratings, so EA won't be as quick to give out team ratings, but who knows, they could come out with something, or just slight, say Ohio State's 96 overall, and we'll be like, alright, 96, but that doesn't matter that much compared to the player overalls, and I think a lot of people care about that. I also could see EA just posting some random footage or just graphics screenshots on their Instagram or Twitter or whatever, so I definitely could see that coming out in the next week. So it might just be something small, kind of like what I told you about the team ratings, where they just post it and say do what you want with it, because it's not that big of a deal. We've already seen what the game looks like mostly, so I'm not gonna complain if they do put out some screenshots, but it would just be, it is what it is. Moving on to the next month, so a month from now will be June 24th, which will basically be 2 weeks from the release date, which there should be a lot out by then. First off, I think all the menus and the other kind of just how the game looks when you're not in an actual game, if you can kind of understand what I mean, when you're not playing football, what the menu screens basically is what I'm trying to say. All that, what it's going to look like, when you log in, what pictures are going to be shown. Another thing EA has talked about in the past is that they will have, intricate guides for each of the game modes, and more specifically the functions. A good kind of example I always go back to is the recruiting process, because A, that's something a lot of people want to know about, and B, that's something that they say will be complex when the game comes out, so we'll see how that works. But they're going to have guides before the game even comes out, so that it builds hype, A, and B, when when they finally get into the game, you know, players that have been waiting for so long, they know what to do and they can easily jump right in and start playing their dynasties without having to worry about, oh, how do I do each individual task inside of the dynasty. They'll do some stuff for that in Road to Glory, but I also see them doing a lot of, you know, reveals for Ultimate Team, and again, I can't blame them, but they'll probably have card reveals and different modes in Ultimate Team, and I think they'll be more focused on that than the Dynasty, but it could just be split into different teams, you know what I mean, like, so I do think that Ultimate Team will have the focus when it comes to June and when it comes to EA releasing info and releasing guides, but we'll just have to wait and see in terms of that. We already know there's going to be points because you could see in the deluxe version, I forget what they're exactly called, but it gives you like 4,600 or something like that. So they'll probably reveal some stuff to go along with Ultimate Team where there's point systems and probably a battle pass. So that's another thing they're most likely going to hit on. Merch is something that I would like to see in June, and I do think it'd be something that they would add. I kind of threw it in here for fun, but you know, College Football 25 merch, some people would buy it. I don't think I would because they'd probably price it at $80 for a t-shirt, but that's something EA could do to kind of make it more fun, or maybe just posters in general that they're officially licensed selling to consumers. EA Sports has also been bragging about the customization for College Football 25 compared to Madden. They're saying that there's so much more stuff you can do with all the different types of face masks and helmet. They say there's just way more stuff in general than Madden. So a deep dive into that is almost inevitable. They're probably going to want to show it off. And again, I don't blame them, but they'll probably, you know, throw in all these different things. They'll have one of those quick slideshows of all the different helmets, probably all the different jerseys and all the different types of kind of drip or outfit customization that they have in the new game to get people hype. And they know people like that type of stuff, so they definitely want to show it off. They've already let some people play it early that aren't in EA, I think, and they're continue to do that into June. I don't know about the next week, but people like MMG and other YouTubers or just famous people in general that can comment and say this game is so fun, you should definitely buy it when it comes out. So they'll have a lot of that, but probably not. They'll probably cut it off at like semi-famous people, if you kind of can understand what I mean. Like, they'll have the really popular content creators start showing it off a little bit and just telling them how it actually plays. By then we'll have a gameplay reveal, so we'll know about that, but hearing it from a famous person, people are more likely to buy it. The last thing I have is I think they'll give us a full soundtrack in June. I don't know exactly how much music they're gonna have in the game. We saw that clip earlier of the orchestra and all that. I did it in another video. They're also having like some rap songs, I think, so they'll drop the whole tape or whatever it is in each different mode, you know, the main loading screen. I don't know if the music is going to be different in, say, Road to Glory or Dynasty or Ultimate Team or just Play Now, but they'll probably go into depth on that. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, once again, make sure to like and subscribe if you would, but thanks again. Make sure to come back for all the news, I guess, for College Football 25, and I will definitely see you in the next one.